What's happening, all you mentees? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, and join me today for my overview of the Death of Superman Deluxe Edition hardcover from DC Comics. So, let's get started. And welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to be looking at the Death of Superman 30th Anniversary Deluxe Edition hardcover. This is the latest printing that came very, very late last year. End of the week, as a matter of fact. But today is the first time I'm getting around to looking at it and reading it. Just last week, I was reading the Day of Doom miniseries that's included in here. So this has been, of course, previously printed before in trade paperbacks. There's a box set. There's an original Omnibus second printing. We're on the fourth printing of the Omnibus. There's no telling how many times it's almost become a joke on the channel I've upgraded or have bought this story. But before I go any further, I do want to thank the folks at Organic Price Books for sending us a copy of this book. So this is the best graphic novel, The Death of Superman. What's really interesting is that this has never been collected in deluxe hardcover format, which I find interesting. Deluxe hardcover format. You know, we've had trades, and like I mentioned, actually, there was a standard size hardcover, but that might have been a European release. The first Omnibus was standard size. But this is the first time we've had a deluxe hardcover of it. So it is as tall as an Omnibus. So that's what the deluxe hardcovers are. If you're still confused about those, I did do a video on my channel talking about the different collected editions. So, The Death of Superman. Nothing else I can say about that. Sorry if that's a spoiler. 30th Anniversary Deluxe Edition. All the wonderful folks that worked on the book: Dan Jurgens, Jerry Ordway, Louise Simonson, Roger Stern, John Bogdanove, Tom Grumet, Jackson Geist, just to name the top billing there. The symbol, if you got the issue 75, you know, the one in the poly bag. If you know, you know. You had to be there. The Death of Superman 30th Anniversary Deluxe Edition, the DC logo. Then the back of the book, which is a Tom Grumet piece, I believe. Yeah, that is definitely Tom Grumet. The background is really nice. It's the newspaper clipping the day that Superman died, and the epic event that shocked the nation and changed Superman forever. Yeah, that is true. I don't know if that's still true about changing him forever. No, I think it's still canon. It's still canon. All right, and then the price of the book down here with the ISBN, the price being $39.99. Underneath the dust jacket, oh yes, you have this awesome symbol of Superman, again from the polybag of issue 75. We will be comparing it to this Omnibus, but right now I do want to answer the question. Is there anything in here that's not collected in here? Yes. The Day of Doom 4-issue miniseries is in here, and it's not in this Omnibus. This Omnibus focuses on the time of the death of Superman, the funeral for a friend, World Without Superman, and the Superman, or Rise of the Superman, I think is what that era was called, and then, of course, the Rebirth era, or the Return, rather, of course, on the title. This has a miniseries from 2003, and that's why it's not in here. So we are going to talk about that and the importance of it. We'll also be comparing some of the artwork to this and the paper stock, but let's look at this first. I don't think I have to say it, but just in case, spoilers? I don't know. There's no other way to talk about this book. We are talking about the title being The Death of Superman, and yeah, pretty sure most of you know, but let's take a look at this together, but just in case, spoilers. Alright, wow, that is a very glossy cover. Let's get this opened. Very nice end paper there with an image, very iconic to those that have read it, by Dan Jurgens. Jurgens. What the hell is wrong with me? The Death of Superman. Now, something you're going to find in this book and in the solicits is that it states that this collects Action Comics 683 to 684, Adventures of Superman 496 to 497, Superman 73 through 75, Man of Steel 17 through 19, Justice League of America number 69, News Time, Life and Death of Superman, and the 2003 Superman Day of Doom miniseries. The book, by the way, has 346 pages. They do the exact same thing on the Omnibus. I don't know why they do this. Probably to save some time, but in the Omnibus, they state the same thing. This collects, for example, the Action Comics 683 to 692. Of course, this has more because this goes past the death. But they state that this collects 683. No. Those issues are not collected in full. It's very misleading because I've had actual viewers message me about it, and I hadn't cracked the book open, but I knew from the Omnibus what they were talking about. There is a new forward, or introduction rather, by Dan Jurgens, who of course was one of the people that put this together. As a matter of fact, he wrote and drew the issue where Superman... This is what's collected from those issues. The final page of Action Comics 683, the final page of Adventures of Superman 496, the final page of Superman 73, and Man of Steel number 17. That's what they mean by those issues. So, I know Marvel and DC does this sometimes, but sometimes they put material from. That's probably what they should have put here, because it is a little misleading. And yes, I've had a few people, more than a handful, email me about it, or message me about it, asking if it was a misprint, that they get missing issues. No, you're not missing anything. That's just the way they worded, both in the Omnibus and in the Deluxe Edition here. They've never been fully collected. As far as I'm aware, not even in any printing of the Omnibus. But I don't have the box set, or the single trade paperbacks that line up that make the big S bleeding. I don't have those. Those very well could contain those issues whole, but as far as I know, nothing has ever been collected, or these issues have not been collected whole. But we do kick it off with Superman, Man of Steel number 18. So yes, this is all just the final pages of each issue. You see somebody punching the wall. Elsewhere, unrelentingly, unstoppably, something is coming, Doomsday is coming, Doomsday is coming, not something. Unbelievably, Doomsday is here. So yes, this creature breaks out from somewhere in the middle of nowhere, as a matter of fact, somewhere on Earth. Now, here's the thing I like to warn people about. If you can't stomach animals or kids getting hurt, this one has some animals getting hurt. Because it is Doomsday, he is a killing machine. I'm not going to go into detail as to who Doomsday is, what exactly he is. I'm just here to talk about this book and the way it compares to the Omnibus and previous releases. And, talk about the story a little bit. So we have some loose ends, first of all, tying up some of the stories previously leading into this. And then we have this unstoppable monster that is looking for... Metropolis, for some reason, is looking for Superman. We're going to skip a few issues. And he is coming to Metropolis to just destroy it. The first thing that happens is he runs into the Justice League. So this is where the Justice League issue ties in. It's issue number 69 of Justice League of America. And he destroys the Justice League. I think the original idea, if you look at the behind the scenes and see any of the interviews, was to kill off a couple of members. But he puts a couple of them in a coma. Some of them are changed for a long time. I mean, he destroys the Justice League, which gets Superman's attention, because at that time, he was with the Justice League. We have Maxima, who at one time, was able to hold her own against Superman. And this creature is just destroying the Justice League. In steps Superman to fight off this creature. What are you doing? What is this? What's going on? And all they're able to really do with all their powers combined is to kind of tear his costume up a little bit and show more and more of what the creature looks like. He's got this bony exoskeleton that is completely unbreakable, that can cut through Superman, as you'll see later on. The Justice League is trying to pick themselves up, and this creature is just a creature made for destroying. I love this throwback right here. Little Easter eggs like that. You are going to have all of the pages collected here, including Supergirl Matrix, which was something that DC, during the first printing and the first few printings of the trade paperback, wanted to omit, just because they didn't want to confuse that Supergirl, or as some of us like to call her, the Matrix Supergirl, Peter David Supergirl, with the Supergirl they were introducing at the time through Jeff Loeb and Michael Turner's run on Batman Superman, or Superman Batman. But they are in here, all intact. All the covers are intact. So yes, this creature, all it's saying is Metropolis. And Superman's like, hell no, I'm not going to let you destroy Superman. You do have the issue number up here, and the credits, not just the artist, or I'm sorry, the penciler, but also the inker. Very nice. This is the John Bogdanova issue. The detail there by Dennis Jank. And one thing that I always point out, just because I don't know how many times I've covered this story, is as the issues progress, as we keep reading this, you'll notice that the panels start being less and less. Like we start off with, your normal panel grids, but by the time you get closer and closer to the fight leading into Metropolis, you'll see that we'll go from, normal panels to about 4 panels a page. Whether it's a spread page or whether it's a splash page or whether it's a page like this. So, for example, this book right here has 4 panels in each page. Then the further we get or rather, the closer we get to Metropolis, the fight gets bigger. So we go to 3 panels. I'm sure I am repeating myself if you watch my video. Sorry about that. But I love bringing it up. Eventually we get to 2 panels. And it just showcases how epic this fight is about to become. We're almost, we make it to Metropolis, and here we are. Now we're at 2 panels. So this is about to go down. So by the time we get to the iconic issue 75 right here, it is a splash page, meaning it's just 1 panel per page, making this big summer blockbuster hit. And it is amazing. Like, to this day, I still think this is a very iconic moment in Superman. Oh, dude, I love this. He kisses her goodbye. We've done an old reader, new reader on this. Look, he's just freaking wiping the floor with Superman's face. Doomsday, he's able to cut him. Superman, the Man of Steel. And of course, we get the final blow. The picture, the very iconic picture. And for the people wondering, yes, it does have the fold-out page. The first time we saw that was in the 3rd printing of the Omnibus. The 2nd printing and the 1st printing did not have the fold-out pages, but it is here intact with this printing. Here lies Earth's greatest hero. And then we get the Day of Doom. This is a very interesting series. It's about this reporter from the Daily Planet named Ty Duffy, who is going around the country and interviewing people to see how they are affected. This is it's an anniversary of Superman's death and how they were affected by the death of Superman or the destruction that Doomsday caused. There is a villain here that is causing havoc and honestly using the map that Doomsday used in his head, I guess, and going through the same places that Doomsday went through and just causing destruction. I don't know how I feel about the addition of this, because it's not really necessary to read it. I think the reason it was added here for sure is because it is written by Dan Jurgens. Bill Sienkiewicz is the inker on Dan Jurgens' art, which is a nice touch. But yeah, it was written in 2003, so, a little over a decade after the... Oh, no, wait. No, that's a 10-year anniversary, right? I think that's... Yeah, 10 years. After the death of Superman. But it's an interesting choice, that's for sure. I'm not sure why this wasn't included in the original Omnibus. I guess the original Omnibus is just way too big. But that's all this miniseries is. And then we do have the news time, the life and death of Superman, which is very nice, including all the ads, the articles in here. The ads are what cracked me up about the time. And then we have the illustrations back here in the back, the cover sketches, I believe a promotional poster to promote Superman 75. This is the summer conference where the writers were joking about killing Superman. And guess what? They did. So the book has 346 pages. There is that image that you saw in the Omnibus. And it retails for $39.99. Original art back here. And the life after the death of Superman. Interviewing Mike Carlin, Jerry Ordway, Roger Stern, Dan Jurgens, and Louise Simonson. The people that helped put all of this together. Writers and artists. Then you get your end paper. Alright, as far as the binding, it looks to be glued binding. Although the book lays over really nice. Let's actually look at that spread page we were looking at earlier, the Tom Grumet spread page right here. So you can see how the book lays over. a little bit of gutter loss right there, and how it lays over towards the front and the back of the book. Now, as far as comparing it to the Omnibus release, Omnibus is printed on this thick, glossy paper. This is matte paper that they're using here. And the colors are going to be looking different too. So this is more vibrant, this is a little bit darker. Not really muddled, but you can tell the difference here. Now the Omnibus is here on the right-hand side, and the Deluxe Edition's here on the left. So the color is really what the big difference is because of the paper stock that they're using. As far as the spread pages, the way the book lays over, and even the way the Omnibus lays over, just because of how big it is, you are going to get some gutter curve, and this is sewn binding. And of course the way it lays over here. But that's it. Yeah, I just wanted to make that really quick comparison. That is the Death of Superman 30th Anniversary. That, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing this book, don't forget to check out our sponsors. CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content, the page count, and build of this deluxe edition. Let me know in the comments down below if you plan on picking this up, if you are happy with the trades, the single issues, if you have the Omnibus, if you've never read the story. Hopefully with that title, it didn't spoil anything. I don't know. But anyway, if you have any questions, leave them down below. Check out our Patreon, it's a great way to support the channel. And, more importantly, all of you, stay healthy and safe out there. Up, and away.